All right. Hi, everyone, and welcome to Lead Up Teach on YouTube Live with myself, Heidi Bill, and my co-host, Elizabeth Boswick. I'm an assistant principal at a bilingual early childhood school in North Texas, and I co-founded and co-moderate ECU Chat every Tuesday night, and I'm passionate about leadership, coaching, ed tech, and early ed. Tonight on episode 10 of Lead Up Teach, we are so excited to welcome Justin Schleider as a self-proclaimed tech junkie and creative wizard. Before we get started, Elizabeth, will you please take a minute to introduce yourself?
Absolutely. Hey everyone, I'm Elizabeth Bostwick, and I'm a fourth grade teacher in the Finger Lakes region in New York. And I'm passionate about leadership, PBL, makerspace, and ed tech to enhance learning. So I'm so excited for our 10th episode of Lead Up Teach tonight, and we're absolutely pleased to have you join us tonight, Justin. So go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hello, I am Justin Schleider, physical education health teacher at a K-6 school in central New Jersey. And recently I just have some periods freed up to do tech integration with my school, which is going to be fantastic for a little more PBL, cross-curricular, and then infusing tech outside of the gym, which is kind of cool. I have done a couple cool things online. I'm sure we'll talk about it more later, but one of the things I love is Voxer. Co-created the general phys ed chat on Voxer, which is blown up to, I don't know, there was 500 at a time. I had to kick a bunch of people out and redo a bunch of stuff. So done some cool stuff out there in the world, but really health and phys ed and technology are my passions, and I smash them all together to come up with hopefully some cool stuff for the kids.
That's awesome. Welcome, Justin. We're so excited to learn from you tonight and to have some of your enthusiasm and passion rub off on us. We also want to give a huge special welcome to the Lead Up Teach audience that's here on YouTube Live, but also on Twitter. We want to encourage everyone to join the Twitter chat that's going on right now concurrently with the Lead Up Teach conversation with Justin. We invite everyone to use the hashtag LeadUpTeach on Twitter to connect with and participate with the live chat both during and after on Twitter.
And tonight on this exciting 10th episode of Lead Up Teach, we're going to hear about Justin's journey as an inspiring and influential Lead Up teacher.
So to get us started tonight, Justin, share with us about your journey, what led you to be the leading up connected educator that you are today.
Sure. So it was a couple years ago, and my superintendent came back into school and was telling us about this thing that we now would call mystery Skype, and how cool it was that she observed this in a class. So it was like 3 years ago, and I'm listening. I'm like, all right, that sounds like something I can do. So I went to educationskype.com, and I found somebody who's a phys ed teacher in Wales who would do a mystery Skype with me. So that was my first foray into becoming connected there. By the way, Education Skype could be the most underutilized, underused, understated website in the world. So many cool ideas. I would highly recommend people get on there. So once I found this guy, his name's Nick Gordon from Wales, and we did a mystery Skype. So my first foray was a full mystery Skype of, we did weeks before prepping, and we did the whole thing. And if you've ever done a mystery Skype, you know how absolutely wild that is. And then afterwards, we made iMovies about it, which was my first foray into that as well. And through our conversations, he said, well, why aren't you on Twitter? And I gave the same reason that most other people say. I really don't care what you're eating for lunch. I mean, that was my basic, premise of thought what Twitter was. And he goes, no, there's so many educators on there you should get on. So I hopped on Twitter, and then once I got on Twitter, my mind was blown of what's out there. Connected with some really cool people, and then from Twitter I went down the rabbit hole of Voxer, which I cannot talk about enough. I guess we'll wait for another question for that bad boy. So from Twitter to Voxer, and then just everything else. I feel like really Twitter is like a gateway drug. Like once you get a taste of that, everything opens up. You find out what tech's out there, you find out your other social media. And the fact that I could connect with anyone from anywhere in the world blew my mind, and I saw what other people were doing, and I realized that I was not the greatest teacher that I thought I was. Being in the phys ed world, you're a hero at the elementary level. Like I walk in, kids are, oh yeah, and you think you're doing this really great job, and then you see what's out there and you go, oh, I could step my game up a lot. So that's basically my journey into the tech social media world, and really trying to get myself to become a lead up teacher.
It's amazing what being connected can do, isn't it? And Justin, your Twitter bio says that you're a tech junkie and a creative wizard. So share with our Lead Up Teach audience about your passion for technology and creativity.
All right, so my passion from technology comes from my biggest weakness, and that is organization. I have the worst organizational skills in the world. I mean, my dad literally tried to beat it out of me, or I guess into me as a child, to get me more organized. It didn't work. I was one of those kids in school, you could picture it now, multiple desks. Like I literally had 2 desks. I remember in 3rd grade, my teacher turned my desk over and threw everything out. My backpack had crumpled papers in it. I would do the homework, and I would really be the kid who said, I did it, I just don't know where it is right now. I knew the information, but I just couldn't be organized. And that kind of burnt me my whole life and set me back in numerous ways and made me figure out how to compensate for certain things. So technology has really, really helped me with that, becoming organized. And once I learned really about Google, between Google Drives and Google Apps for Education, now I said, oh, this is beautiful. I won't ever lose anything. I could go anywhere. I mean, I would lose thumb drives. I've washed numerous zip drives in my life, and I would make backups on top of backups on top of backups. I'm sure everybody in the pre-Google Drive world remembers being nervous that if you lost that thumb drive, years of things are going to get destroyed. So once I realized how tech could help me become organized, then because I was more organized, I was saving more time. Then when I'm saving time, I'm becoming a better teacher because I'm able to do more things. I'm not worried about where did I put the pencil, where did I lay these sheets of paper down when I made copies at the machine and I lost the copies between the copy machine and the gym. It was crazy. So anyway, long story short, technology has really helped me become organized. And then from there, once I go, okay, now I can streamline time. Now I can do things that make my teaching more effective. I could really engage my students. I could do things that are much cooler than before. All that together just really blew my mind and took my teaching to the next level.
That's awesome, Justin. I was totally resonating with you about the losing the thumb drives. I just remember that nervous feeling of like, this thumb drive has the thing on it, and if we lose it, it's gone forever. So.
Yeah, those things, and I mean, I've washed them. I would find them in my pants, or you take them out too early and they get destroyed. Mm-hmm. There's the only thing that people now might realize, again, if they're younger listening, it would be like losing your phone. That fear, that phobia, it's the same exact thing that it used to be with thumb drives.
Right. So, Justin, what is something new and innovative that you've tried recently? You talked about how Google really revolutionized your work and your teaching and your organization, but what's something new that you've tried recently, and how do you go about learning and innovating and pushing yourself on a routine basis?
All right, so we'll go to a couple things. You're going to have to remind me about the pushing myself. Let me go first to what's new and innovative. For me, Seesaw. It starts and ends with Seesaw. I've always wanted a digital portfolio. I've always wanted parents to see what I'm doing in class. And Seesaw is a digital portfolio that I can take pictures and upload. They can take videos. They can type in notes. I can push out links. It doesn't replace Google Classroom at all. It actually works in tandem with it. But Seesaw, to me, was revolutionary. Now I can show parents what are the cool things we're doing in class. A lot of people will say, if you don't have a picture, it never happens. And I kind of go by that. A kid's going to describe in class, you can see the energy and the light in their eyes when they're talking about it to their parent, if they're that type of child. But we always hear a lot of children, what'd you do in class today? Nothing. 3 hours ago, you had this bright smile on your face and you were taking your learning to new heights that had never been there. Now your mom and dad ask you nothing. So suddenly, when I'm sending these videos home, now the parents are really engaged. They're becoming advocates for me. I'm opening up my classroom. When they come home, I'm able to open dialogue with parents and children. What'd you do today? Nothing. well, how come I saw a video of you doing this, this, and this in your phys ed class, or this, and this in your health class? Tell me about this fit principle you were talking about, or I saw you doing this game or this activity. Now the parents and the children are talking, and it's really a feather in the cap of my program. So if it ever in Jersey, it can't be cut, but if there were ever issues, or if I need more funding for certain things, now I have these parents that are saying, hey, he's doing great stuff. We definitely should support him. The other way that I love Seesaw that I think is kind of innovative was I sent out weekly selfie videos of what we're doing in class. So I'll literally walk down the hall, hold up my phone, walk down and take a video. Here's what we're doing in class this week. And I'll go over like K to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here's what's going on. And then I send that out to all the parents at once. You just hit everyone in the classes. It's very simple. So that's another way that parents are able to see. And we always talk about, well, how can we open up to stakeholders? Parents, sometimes they had that negative association with school when they were younger, especially phys ed. You hear, oh, we played dodgeball, or we did this, and the teacher rolled the ball out, and you hear the horror stories. And the only way to change people's minds are to show them. I can talk a good game, but you don't know what I'm doing or not. I could just be a great talker or a good speaker. So now suddenly, here's the videos, here's the pictures, here's your child doing reflections. I will have the children take selfie videos of what did you learn in class today, and how will this help you outside of the physical education classroom? How is this going to help you in life? Making that draw, having them make the connection of, you're not learning it because I want you to learn it. You're not learning it because the curriculum says to learn it. You're learning it because it's going to benefit you right now and the future, and really try to delve a little deeper into there. So for me, I can't tell you the positives the Seesaw has brought to me, and the fact that it's free. Free. They do have paid versions. If you want to have more co-teachers, you can have multiple teachers in there. If you want the things to go from year to year to year to year to keep the portfolio going, you're there. Just so you know, after my Seesaw spiel, I'm not paid by Seesaw. I'm not getting anything out of this. I just love Seesaw. It's a product that's fantastic. And when I hear people not using it, why would you not want to share the work with your parents? We have my kids. There's nothing that brings me greater joy than seeing my kids during the day having a great time. So a parent goes to work at a job they may or may not like. Now suddenly they're getting a video of their kids succeeding, having a great time during the day. Is there anything more precious than that in the world? I just love Seesaw. So again, let me just put the disclaimer. I'm not paid by them. It's just me loving Seesaw out there.
It's such a great way to be able to communicate with families and just for the kids to be able to go home and show their parents and be able to really share in that. So,
yeah, the anecdotal evidence, I have people tell me, my grandpa, my grandfather, my grandmother, my aunt, my uncle have signed up. They go around the neighborhood showing people the videos. I actually had a parent pull me today back to school night, and the parent pulled me over and said, you realize you're opening your classroom up and you're having parents all up in your stuff. I go, yes, that's what I want. And his wife was a teacher. And he goes, you want that? I said, I'm doing amazing things in class. I want every parent to understand what I'm doing. If there's a miscommunication with something, I want the parent to say, this is what's going on, and know they have access to me. So for stakeholder relationship building, there's nothing better than this.
It's amazing. It's amazing. What impact do you wish to have on education at large? Or in addition to that, what do you wish people knew about you and your role?
All right, so first, what impact do I think technology should have in school? For me, it would make engagement just to the next level. You have something in front of you that could bring a child anywhere and have them learn anything at any time. So there's nothing constraining us. I could set my class up to personalize with my students at a much better rate. Technology allows me to do that. And the future is brighter than ever. We're right around the corner from virtual reality. Once virtual reality hits us and I'm able to have the students put on glasses and go to a soccer game and watch Manchester United and see the skills that I'm talking about, once we're able to say, hey, this is the business aspect of sports, hey, this is what's going on with health, and they're able to transport, and that's just my class. I mean, you want to talk about seeing the pyramids, they can go to the pyramids. They can go to the Metropolitan Museum of Art. They can go to the Louvre. They can go anywhere that you want in the world. It's fantastic. Then we already talked about the stakeholders coming in. Now we talk about authentic audience. We didn't even get to blogging. Another thing I forgot that's great about Seesaw that I'm going to do this year. It seems to me with Seesaw, I could do a Twitter chat and probably get away with like 5 of the same answers. You know, growth mindset, student voice and choice, and then Seesaw would be one of the answers to almost everything. Blogging. There's the blogging feature. We talk about an authentic audience. We could put it out to the world, their thoughts. You know, should we have physical education? Should we have health? What are your thoughts on smoking, on drugs? What are your thoughts on fitness? Whatever it is, and have other people comment. So for technology, it really should up the game of engagement. Instead of just being confined to the small classroom we're in, the world is our oyster. And I don't think that we're utilizing that enough of personalizing it and opening up to the world. We have our little pockets of some cool people doing some cool stuff, but it's really not even close to where it should be.
Wow. I'm shaking my head, Justin, because everything you're sharing is so on point. And it's almost like the right answers don't change. So hearing what you're saying, it says, yes. You know, I'm seeing that happen firsthand with Seesaw and just how empowered our students. These are 3, 4, and 5-year-olds who are learning how to use Seesaw themselves to discern what they want to share with their parents, take the image and upload it with the teacher's approval. But at the same time, right there, they're becoming savvy citizens with their technology to discern what is valuable to share, what is not.
But it's authentic. It's what they do in the world. So you want to talk about Snapchat, you want to talk about Musical.ly, you want to talk about whatever that they're using out there that's probably changing as we're speaking right now. They're sharing themselves with the world, and they want to. We have that look at me, look at what I'm doing, I want to share it. And that's how they're connecting. So why are we not utilizing that in school?
Absolutely. Well, our next question is actually talking about enhancing communication and collaboration. So you've talked a lot about using Seesaw for communication. Maybe what about how do you go about using tech to enhance collaboration? And Seesaw is one of your favorite apps, but maybe what's a different app or something else that you're using right now?
Sure. So for collaboration, this is something I'm really working on. So I told you that story about doing the mystery Skype last year, which I thought was fantastic. There's plenty of ways you can do mystery numbers, animals, colors. I mean, there's stuff that's super easy, not so involved as the mystery Skype, because that was really hard. I would not tell anyone to start with a mystery Skype. Start with a mystery animal or a mystery number. It's very, very similar. A mystery sport if you're in the phys ed world. But for collaboration, some really cool stuff. Number one, this guy named Andy Milne, who goes under the handle Carmel Health, is doing a huge podcast coming up for International Podcast Day. So he's having our students answer some health questions for a podcast, and then we're going to put it together in a podcast, and he's going to do all the hard work. I'm just going to hold the phone while kids talk into it and put it out there. So that's one way. Another thing that I really wanted to do was with the Olympics going on, I have a Voxer chat, a global Voxer chat going on where with phys ed teachers from all over the world of getting together and doing some Olympic events. And then we'll time it and we'll get some stuff going on because we could, 25 meters is 25 meters no matter where you are in the world. So we could do different races and different activities on there. Like I said, for collaboration, I actually like, and this isn't so much for the student aspect, it's more for the teacher professional development, collaboration with other leaders out there. For me, when I get around another person who is absolutely in love with education, who wants to get better and wants to do things that are going to help other teachers for free. I mean, that's just me. I love free. Free is the way to be. For me, I understand why other people do paid stuff. But when people want to uplift education together, I'm all about that. So that's why Voxer is just fantastic. I mean, we have a general phys ed chat where any phys ed teacher in the world can join, ask any question about anything. And then on top of it, there's about 50 other chats that are specific to different areas. So we have a Google Classroom chat. We have a elementary assessment chat. We have a middle school assessment chat. When you talk about a virtual reality, there is a chat for anything and everything when it comes to phys ed teachers. And that is really pushing my thinking and helping me become a better teacher, which I bring right back to my students. I'll look on there and I'll see some games or activities that are going on. I'll go, wow, all I have to do is twist this, do this a little bit. That'll fit perfectly for my students, or change the equipment up, do whatever I do, because, you know, we want to be critical consumers and not just say, hey, that looks cool for you, I'm going to do it myself. It has to be appropriate for my students. But for me, that collaboration piece is fantastic. I can't get enough. And I was telling you ladies before we went on air, I'm not a great teacher. What I did was I surrounded myself with great people who have won State Teachers of the Year, Regional Teachers of the Year, have done all these amazing things in all these different countries. Now, let me see what you're doing. How can I cherry pick from you? How can I take from you? And then together, I feel like I'm one big puzzle as a teacher. I'm a jigsaw puzzle that I literally could just take pieces apart and tell you, oh, I got this from Ben Perilla. Oh, I got this from Nicholas Enlich, for this from Adam Laveau, this, and just tell you where everything came from. Because I don't need to be that creative specialist. I don't need to sit there spending hours figuring out a new way to do something. Just find people who are. Find people who are doing all these different amazing things. And then take what they do, make it your own. How can I make it better? How can I change it? How can I modify it? So for me, that's where I love that collaboration piece, because it steps your game up. And that's how you get to become a lead-up teach.
I'm sharing this right out. I'm quoting Justin.
Nice. And I probably stole that speech from somebody else at some point in time.
So, Justin, would you also share one thing that you'd like leader teachers to walk away with or go out and make a difference?
Sure. One thing I want you to walk away with from tonight is it doesn't matter what you do on social media. I really don't care. I don't care what you're doing on Twitter. I don't care what you're doing on Voxer if you're not taking it back and benefiting your students. I see a lot of things on Twitter that are cool. I hear a lot of things on Voxer that are cool. But I want to know, how are you changing your students? Connect globally, change locally. If you're not doing that, and that I stole right from Doug Tim, who's a principal in Delaware. If you are not changing what you're doing at your school, this is pointless. You're literally wasting your time. You're trying to get the pats on the back. Oh, you're so awesome. You're wonderful. You're great. If you're not learning from other people, if you're not changing your pedagogy for the better, then what's the point out there? I mean, yes, everybody wants to be seen as a really good teacher. We all want people to say, hey, I like what you're doing. I get that part. And I'm not saying there's not a part of ego in there. But the other part is, if you're not changing what your students are getting for the better, then you're really just wasting your time, in my opinion. So if I could shorten it up, like I said before, connect globally, change locally.
That's so spot on. And thank you so much. Oh my goodness, Justin, the passion that you're bringing, and it's just the honest truth. I love that you shared that from Doug. He's a man that I respect a whole lot, and it is so true that if we're out here soaking up all this different stuff, if it's not changing what we do on a daily basis, then it really is for nothing. So as we're wrapping up tonight, Justin, could you share with us something that's coming up for you in the near future, or how our listeners can continue to connect with you into the future?
Sure. So one thing that I'm super, super, super psyched up about, and it's been in the plans for a long time, I am keynoting in Vegas, which is so cool for Q Nevada. And I'm really excited, to keynote, but Nearpod, which is one of the coolest tech tools out there that you can use for the older kids, instead of just a boring PowerPoint, you bring it in, you can do polls, you can do quizzes, you can do all kinds of stuff with it. They have opened up my Nearpod so that I could have 130 accounts or something like that on there, which is what a district would pay for. They're opening it up, and I'm doing my entire keynote through Nearpod. So you will be able, I'm sure somebody's going to be periscoping it. Hopefully, like I said, there'll be a couple extras. I'll put the Nearpod code out there. You will see what people are seeing right at the keynote in Vegas, which I think is going to be a little groundbreaking, a little innovative, which I really like. And then the challenge for me, because I'm phys ed and health, is I cannot let you sit. So how do I get you up and moving a little bit, just enough to keep you engaged, keep it moving, keep my philosophy there that we shouldn't be sitting for more than 10 or 15 minutes at a time. So that's one of the things that's coming up that I'm very, very, very excited for.
Awesome. What's the topic of your keynote?
It is becoming a critical consumer of thoughts and ideas. So I don't want to go too much, but I mean, we're inundated with information all the time. I mean, you're on Twitter and you don't even think about it. You don't realize what you read and what you see, you internalize, whether you pay attention to it or not. So we have to be very, very aware of what's going on. And when we see garbage, we have to call garbage out. We have to say, hey, this is wrong. Or in a nice way, not everyone has to be blunt like my Jersey self. We can do, you could be much more couth than I am a lot of times.
I see you calling garbage out sometimes.
Yeah, and people are going to go, oh, he's kind of rude or whatever. But I think of it on the flip side. If we don't say something and we don't take a stand, then people who aren't realizing what's going on are looking at these so-called experts or seeing something and go, oh, that must be correct. And they're not looking up the history. They're not sitting there going, is that really what we should be doing with kids? Is that really something that I would want to do? Or is it just because this person has a lot of followers, or, it's got a catchy thing, or it's flashy? Even with new tech, we don't have to put in something just because it's new, or we want to be considered as innovative. I want to know how you're using a tool to better your teaching. So the tool should match your teaching, not the other way around. But that's, I could go on for this forever, and I will be going on for my keynote. That's really what I'm about, is making sure you're critical of everything that comes before your eyes and your ears. And that's why I love Voxer. I talked before about Diverge Ed, about really having these conversations, finding your thought leaders, finding your tribe, the people who you're comfortable with, and having somebody that's going to push your thinking and say, you're wrong, or did you ever think about it this way? If you don't have those people, then for me, you're doing a disservice to yourself. We have a lot of backslapping that goes on social media, and I get some people need that. You're in a school that doesn't support you and you feel like you're your silo, all that. But for me personally, and a lot of this comes from my point of view, I need somebody who's going to tell me, you're doing this wrong, or think about it this way, or take this a step further. I need those thought leaders in my life, those critical consumers of thoughts and ideas, whether it's somebody else or out of my own mouth.
Okay, so I'm fired up, and I'm wishing that I could find that person to see, person.
Nice.
So maybe if I'm lucky, I'll get a one of those codes to Nearpod, so I can pop in and see what it's all about.
Nice.
Yeah, I would love that too. That sounds amazing.
Well, I can DM it to you. You got to make sure you hop on quick though before they get all used up.
Right. Okay, I have one last surprise question. I know you're a huge proponent about brain boosts, not brain breaks. Tell us, what's one of your favorite brain boosts?
All right, favorite brain boost. I'm going to cheat. I'm going to give you two. First, I'm going to give you a tech one, and then I'm going to give you the actual activity. So the tech brain boost that's fantastic is the Move It extension in Google Chrome. Jared Robinson, phys ed teacher in Australia, came up with it. It's a timer, and then it also gives you a quick activity you can or cannot do. I use it as a timer. You could set the time in increments of 5 minutes, and it'll make your whole screen go pink. So in class, if I'm doing health class, now the whole screen goes pink. I set it usually for 10 minutes, and now I know, okay, let's get up and do the activity. If you're at home, you want to do the Pomodoro method. You don't want to go more than 25 minutes sitting down. You look up, 2 hours went by. I didn't even realize it. No, the Move It extension, by far the coolest one. Now, what's the activity? Rock, paper, scissors. It gets no better than rock, paper, scissors because you can make it anything you want. You could do a simple one of regular rock, paper, scissors. You could twist it. I always like to play 2 out of 3 because I tell them if you win once, that's lucky. If you win 2 out of 3, that's skill because we know there's a lot of skill involved there. And I always say the winner, if we do like something, the winner gets to do exercise. And now what did I do? I just flipped it around. Well, exercise is good for your body. I won. I'm going to do something good for my body instead of, exercise is a punishment. No, you're doing something great for yourself. You could do math, rock, paper, scissors. Throw out, instead of rock, paper, scissors, numbers. do sums, do bigger number minus a smaller number, add the two fists up, multiply it by your partner. You could do jumping rock, paper, scissors. I mean, you could probably come up with 25 of them just sitting here. So rock, paper, scissors, everybody knows it. You played it since you're 4 years old. It's not a lot of teaching. You're not wasting time. Boom, beat 2 people and then sit down. Or play 3 people and then take a seat. Tell them what to do. It is by far my favorite brain boost that I will use now till I'm 90-something years old, hopefully.
I love it, Justin. You're taking us old school with rock, paper, scissors. Awesome.
Yeah, we don't need high tech. It's old school. Get it easy.
Well, Justin, thank you so much for joining us tonight on Lead Up Teach. Your message truly resonates with me. I know Elizabeth also, and our audience. We enjoyed hearing about your personal journey, where you've come from, where you are, and we can only imagine where you're going above and beyond Nevada. So your influence is out there, and I'm so grateful that we've connected. I also want to appreciate our Lead Up Teach audience who's watching live now or who might be watching this in a replay, who tuned in tonight, both here and also on the chat.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for inviting me. I mean, the fact that you two ladies asked me is fantastic. Like I said, you have a huge audience out there that loves what you do. And this idea of getting together, picking people's brains, how can we become better, what can we learn, then putting out there for free so everyone can get better. That's the name of the game. Doesn't get better than this. So thank you both for inviting me. I'm humbled that you even asked me.
Well, we both feel so fortunate that you were willing to join us tonight, and you truly are inspirational. Listening to you speak has been amazing. But we also are excited to announce the date and time of our next Lead Up Teach episode, and we want everyone to go ahead and mark their calendars. So our episode 11 is going to air on September 29th at 7:30 Central, 8:30 Eastern Time, and we look forward to welcoming Sean Gaylord and Natalie Cravenger on the topic of building and establishing a positive school culture and Celebrate Monday. And today is Monday, so hopefully everybody's been having an awesome Celebrate Monday.
Awesome. So between now and our next live Lead Up Teach event, we encourage all of you to follow those that you connected with tonight. Be sure to connect with Justin on Twitter, and obviously he is the godfather of Boxer, so if you're not connected with him on Boxer yet, you need to be. We hope that we also stay in touch with the Lead Up Teach hashtag on Twitter between now and then. And we look forward to seeing you guys back on September 29th. We are signing off. So good night, everyone. Good night, Justin. Thank you again.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
Have a great night. Thank you.